right. We're recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'd like to call the April meeting of the Edison Public Library Board to order at 7:05 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As required by the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4, to adequate notice of this meeting is provided to the public. Notice is given to the Home News Review, Ledger, New Indian Times, posted on the library website, and given to the township clerk. Lyman, roll call, please.
Mr. Erico, excuse, Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Patel, Mr. Patel, excused, Mr. Shen, excused. Ms. Singh will mark her in when she comes in. Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes. All right. Roll call. Okay. So let's do a resolution to approve the March 18th meeting.
Yeah, I just need to say that the draft that's on the website, it says that it's the reorganization.
Yes,
They fix that?
I will fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it marked off that we need to correct that, yes.
Yeah. And just one more suggestion is we have 3 Patels now. So when we say Ms. Patel, Mr. Patel, Mr. Patel, I think we should use the first names as well going forward because it's their voting record. So, yeah. All right. Minutes of the Edison Township Free Public Library Board of Trustees regular meeting, March 18, 2026. Present, Anthony Di Pasquale, Ralph Rico, Pallavi Kabadi, Shilvanti Patel, Shreyans Patel, Chang Shan. Absent, Katrina Leary excused, Rinki Singh excused. Also present, Joseph Palambit, Board Attorney, Alan Kleinman, Library Director, Deborah Saur, Assistant Director, Virat Patel, Council Liaison, and Amanda Coyle, Administrative Operations Manager, Sherry Reyes, Administration. Mr. Di Pasquale called the meeting to order at 7:03 p.m. He led the salute to the flag and read the Open Public Meetings Act statement. On motion and second, the regular session minutes of February 17th, 2026 were approved. On motion and second, the closed session minutes of February 17, 2026 were approved. On motion and second, the bill list of March 18, 2026 was approved. On motion and second, the list of dates for upcoming meetings and alternate dates was approved. On motion and second, motions to go into closed session at 8 p.m. and return to open session at 8:28 p.m. were approved. On motion and second, resolution to approve the employment agreement for assistant director was approved. On motion and second, resolution to hire Emily Madeira as part-time Makerspace Library Associate for 20 to 25 hours per week was approved. On motion and second, resolution to hire Nisha Bhavsar as part-time Library Assistant for 20 to 25 hours per week was approved. On motion and second, resolution to hire Abigail Ayala as part-time Library Associate for 20 to 25 hours per week was approved. On motion and second, the meeting was adjourned by unanimous consent at 8:39 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion.
Motion.
A second. Roll call.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Same.
Shilvanti Patel. Ms. Singh will be here later, and Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes. Okay,
So. And the closed session minutes?
okay. So just go ahead. All right. Sorry about that. Can I have a motion to vote on the closed session?
Motion.
Motion, have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Same.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, and Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, just do it again.
All right, so I'd like to have a motion on the March 18th regular session minutes.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Abstain.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Abstain.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the March 18th closed session.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Abstain.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Abstain.
and Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes. Okay. We're going to move on to the financial reports.
The next up on the order is the March 31st balance sheet, which shows what we had available to us in our bank accounts on March 31st. The bill list is pretty much nothing out of the ordinary this month. We have one of the final payments for the North Edison branch for Dupal Pro for $266,731.50 for a grand total of the bill list of the March board meeting for April 14th is $413,378.86. In addition, the bill list had already been prepared and Chris was unavailable. So I needed to do a separate resolution after the bill list was closed for the purchase of the ball bearing slide set for the bookmobile. So I did that as a separate addition to the bill list. So it would require 2 votes. I guess basically that's it from us. Nothing unusual for this first quarter. Most of the money we have been allocating out has been the construction costs for the North Edison branch and associated costs. Does anyone have any questions on the bill list, the balance sheet, or anything from the encumbered sheet? Should I proceed with the first bill list?
Yes.
I need a motion and a,
Motion.
Have a motion to approve the
That's
bill
second.
list. First and second?
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Kapadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Yes.
and Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries. And motion and second for the purchase ball bearing slide set.
Do I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
Thank
roll
you.
call.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Yes.
and Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we'll move on to the library director, assistant director's reports.
I listed a couple of things that are happening in the library. I would like to encourage the board members to attend. We have the mayor who will be doing a story time next Monday. We're reversing it, so he will be here about 11:30, 11 o'clock. We're going to do the craft first, and then he's going to read some stories for National Library Week. So we're really excited that the mayor is going to be here. On Tuesday, we have our annual Library Workers' Day, and the Board of Trustees usually has a lunch for the staff. We say 12 to 2. Some of the staff that work the evening will pick up their lunches when they come in. Next Wednesday on April 22nd, we're going to launch the Seed Library for this year here at the main library. And on Thursday, we're going to have a welcome to the library open house with some light refreshments for people to come and just check out the main library. We'll have some free giveaways that they can come and pick up just to reacquaint everyone to the North Edison Library. We're keeping this year's National Library Week on the low key since we have so many things coming up with summer reading and with also the opening of the North Edison branch. So we are getting very close to the North Edison branch getting the documents that they need. We have a meeting on Thursday, and they're already working on the punch list. I was there last night, and the painter is there. I took a ride. I wanted ice cream. I took a ride. The painter was in. He let me in, and he was touching up the walls, and I took a look around. It's really looking very nice. They did take the fence down, so we're gonna put a big sign up on the front. There's no other place for us to put a sign at this point. We're still sticking with the branch opening from 10 to 12 on the Saturday. The mayor has confirmed that works for him. And I would say next week, the invitations are going to be sent out. We want to do it by invitation because the room only holds basically 85 to 100 people. And we want to be able to make sure that people are comfortable with the event, and everyone and their son and brother and who's had any part of doing anything with the library would be invited. The Buy a Brick campaign, you're looking at me very strange.
I just have a question about.
Okay, you want to quit? Yeah.
About the opening in July. Can we put that online live for everybody to see?
Kevin?
Kevin? Yeah. Can we do that? The opening of the North Library. Can we put that online? Live stream it?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
And of course, we'd invite NCTV. They were there when we did the ribbon cutting. They'll
However
be there
we
as
do it,
well.
if we can plan on doing it, I think that would be a good idea, since it's gonna be an invitation, it'd be nice to give that, okay.
Yeah, and I expect all the legislators would be there since it's partially funded by two out of the three of our state representatives were there when we did the groundbreaking. So hopefully the timing will work for everyone. The Buy a Brick campaign has actually, we've had so many people email and call us this past week that we just extended it to May 1st. At this point, we have a little bit under 60 applications, which was more than enough for us to get started. Our goal was 50. And what happens is the first whoever gets in this first group, that gets done, and then the second group gets done later in the year. Um, um, we are, I guess, working on the main library, still looking at furniture. We're still getting design for that. The RFP for the vestibule for Clara Barton is in the process of being advertised. It'll be, I guess, run this week. We'll get notification when it hits the paper. But once that hits, then our Carrie and Iavino will also start sending out notices to contractors that they know. I did a long report, DLA conference. I think it was one of the better Public Library Association conferences. With 6,000 people, it seemed at times that there were millions, but at times it seemed to be that you were able to get together in small groups. The programs were really super. I try to go to a variety of programs. Two concentrated on foundation, friends, and fundraising. Two on older adult services, one of which is the moderator for. And just in general, really that conference is an opportunity for me to meet with the vendors. So I spent a considerable amount of time with Farber, who we're working on with the specs for the bookmobile. And the bookmobile they're kind of ready to start tomorrow working on this thing. So I'd rather have it sooner than later. So that's really a good sign. So that's pretty much it. That for me, I was away plus the Jewish holidays or whatever. So it's a shorter report than usual, but things are moving along nicely here. Deborah, anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, just some in-house things. We had a great turnout for the Teen Game Day, which was also Mario Day, March 10th. We did that with the Edison Police. And what's interesting is that in addition to playing the video games, the kids are also really interested in playing board games again now, too. So that's like a trend that's been happening. So we're going to order some more board games. We hosted our third annual celebration of Youth Art Month. They've been posted around the branches. And we had a lovely article in the Patch, which I included in the report, that library patron Atlas Lam Fortes completed his 1,000 books before kindergarten. And he's just 3 years old. So he's a great overachiever and we love it. And then just to shout out some upcoming programs, the Reading Rocks, the library is our kickoff for National Library Week, which is this coming Sunday. We have a practice travel photography for teens through adults, understanding how anxiety works for adults. And then this month, throughout the rest of the month, we have a display in our display case in the division entrance by blind deaf artist John Gabry. It's a really amazing display and I recommend people check it out. Thank you.
Okay. We will move on.
Any questions that any of the board members has for any of us?
Questions? No? Okay. Gentlemen, present report of today's unfinished business. We will move to new business. Mr. Kleiman?
We're up to new business, huh? So you have before you basically we did not make any changes. We didn't really get any feedback from the board between this last month in which we presented the initial operating expenses budget, and the capital expenses budget, with, what we originally did. But what I did was try to do a basic, budget summary, because, when Chris helped me with the operating budget, he really was looking at the operating budget actually equaling the same amount as the monies that we get from the township, which isn't quite the way it works. But all the budgets are a guide for us to get a sense of where we're spending money. So we want to get a good sense. So if we look at our revenues, that budget summary sheet, our revenues based on all that we know at this point, is something like $12,785,272 and change. The operating budget, which is what we did the balance operating budget on, was $800,857.60. Out of that, we did a capital, which was the capital plan that I had given the board at $2,838,391.98. And when I went to look at the balance, it really shows that we will end up with however we're going to use it, reserve or whatever, of $500,000 more. So not only would it look like we have the million, which we anticipated, because we're basically paying ourselves back from the money as we're getting a return from the state, but we're in a good financial position. We have no idea what the cost of the vestibule is going to take. Plus, that gives us a little room. The furniture clearly and Clara needs to be updated. And so we've got a good cushion. And I really view, the capital budget isn't some things that we could actually do even in a year. I mean, everything, if it's a big project, they're all not like, you can buy a computer and that's an easy stuff. But some of the projects are long-term. Just to even put this projection system in from start to finish, ended up 2 months? 6 months. So, what we're starting to do is starting to look at what we need to get ready for North. That's our next biggest project. So that we have at least one projection system, for example, in the main new auditorium. We need to update the chairs. I've already contacted Clancy about what dates they could start to come in and put the shelving back once we get the ability to go in on our own. So the next couple of months are really going to be getting North up and running, and making sure that all of that is done. So we're really not in a bad financial position. I don't know how to put it, but we're fortunate, even though we did get an increase in our 1/3 mill allocation from the township. Part of that was eaten up by healthcare costs, which everyone and everywhere is facing. So we still did end up with a little extra this year than we had last year. And so unless there's, I know Kat wasn't here last time, and I not directing whatever, but I know she usually can find my little errors that I made a mistake in. He's laughing, So I just basically, if there's any questions about the operating, about the capital, we'll also be working with the capital once the board adopts the new committee structure, and work with them as we do the projects, and obviously bring in. I think we will try to develop more of a timeline that we can bring to that committee, so we have a sense of what we're going to do, what months, and so we have a little bit of the projections. We know we're meeting tomorrow, so we're going to start to make the list of what we need to do in North. We got a couple little finishes here. And the vestibule in Clara it's part of capital, but it's going to be handled by the architect rather than us having to deal with it at this point. So I guess I present the operating and the capital, and I'm open to any questions that anyone has about either one of them. We good?
I'll make a suggestion, I guess, less of a question. When we have I'm trying to see which page this is, but it's titled Edison Public Library Capital Plan Projected 26-27. You break down the current revenues. I think it would just be helpful breaking it down a little more potentially, because to me, operating budget and capital budgets are pretty separate. You have operating budget, capital main. I think the presentation may be a bit confusing in that sense, because I know that was kind of initially where a lot of my confusion was just how this was being presented in terms of those capital revenues, I guess, if that makes sense.
And as you know, we basically create the capital out of the operating budget. We don't have a separate, it's all coming out of one pot. So those, I mean, if you have a better way for me to do that, if you could send me something, I can change this.
Yeah.
Would you mind?
Yeah, no, not at all,
if
because
we
the
could do
budget
that.
in and of itself, makes total sense.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand, because on the operating budget, on those 3 lines there, it does say capital man. So I really pulled it out. Not that we're using it twice. It's the same money, but we have to create capital out of the operating. So that's where those numbers came from.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we
Is that
can
okay?
talk more offline about that.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Any resolutions?
You want me to read it?
Okay, just make a motion. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the 2026 operating budget?
I'd like to make a motion to approve 2026 operating budget.
Have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the 26-27 capital budget?
Motion to approve 26-27 capital budget.
Have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. On to liaison reports. Report to us?
Yeah, I'll mention a couple quick things. Well, Alan and I have been going back and forth now for a month. We were just talking before the meeting. Every once in a while, some of the library's phones are being rerouted to the mayor's office, and we are looking into that. There seems to be no rhyme or reason for it. It only started earlier this year. It's coming from all 3 branches, so I will apologize for any confusion, because we just get the phone call that says, I'm looking to reach whatever branch. We give them the phone number, and they say, yeah, that's the number I just called. So we're working through that. It seems, Alan, you're just telling me that it seems like it's stopped a little bit lately, but just apologies if there's any confusion with that. The other thing I do want to mention is we have our Spring 26 Illuminator coming out in the near future, and we do highlight the work going on at North and Main libraries. That'll be included under the just kind of a summary of the capital projects that have been going on throughout town, and we wanted to highlight the library, so we thought that would be worth mentioning too.
Thank you for reaching out to us.
Thank you for all the information. That was really helpful. And that's all.
Public comments. During the open portion of its meetings, the library provides the public with an opportunity to offer comments regarding matters pertaining to the library. Pursuant to provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act 10(4)-12, the board is entitled to permit, regulate, or prohibit public participation in its meetings. Each speaker will have a maximum of 4 minutes to speak and should limit comments to the matters pertaining to the library. Speakers and members of the public should at all times maintain proper decorum and shall make their comments in a civil manner. Do you have any comments?
All right.
That's all you.
Okay. Sarah Nasser, Pleasant Avenue. I'm here as the president of the Friends of the Edison Public Library, and we had quite a few things that we wanted to call out. First and foremost, we're having our first fundraiser for the year at Fratelli's Pizza on Wednesday, April 22nd. It's a dine-in or dine-out fundraiser, so you can come in and grab a pizza, or you can come in with your family and have a sit-down meal. It's from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., so lunch or dinner, or anytime in between. So they are based out of Amboy Avenue, 999 Amboy Avenue. So stop on by and support the library. So all of the funds that will be 10% of the profits from the night will go to the Friends to support any of the library programs that we decide to move forward with. So again, that date is Wednesday, April 22nd, coming right up, and that is during the National Library Week. So one of the things that Director Kleiman had called out previously was the Seed Library kicks off on Earth Day, which is also the same day, April 22nd. So the Friends is sponsoring the Seed Library, the same as we did last year. So stop by at, it'll be starting here at Maine first, and then eventually we're going down to all 3 branches. A lot of things going on in April, and hopefully you'll be able to come to the library and support some of these endeavors. We have our next Friends meeting on Monday, May 4th at the main branch here. So if anybody would like to join, please come on by. We are also working with the township on a 5K that is coming up in October. So we're finalizing all of the details to that, but that's going to be hopefully an annual thing that we do with the township, and we're really looking forward to having that be a large fundraiser for the library this year. Overall, like I said, we're making a lot of progress with the Friends. I know we're still a fledgling organization, and some of us are, just trying to get us ramped up as much as we possibly can. And I've been saying that for, upwards of a year now, but I still feel that we are, we're doing so much that we can, but we do need the support from, from the organization and from the trustees, just to make sure that we succeed with this, because the whole goal for a Friends or a foundation is to be incremental support and grassroots support from the community for the library. So we're all on the same side here. So let's do what we can to, continue to support each other and continue to make the library a point of conversation within our community. So again, April 22nd, dine in, dine out, grab a pizza or some garlic nuts, whatever you like. Come on by to Fratelli's at 999 Amboy Avenue. Thank you.
We do need to mention, right? It's so we are buying in support of Friends of Library. Okay.
Is there a flyer or anything that we have to show?
I did send that out to a lot of the groups,
Yeah.
but I can certainly forward that to you as well. Thank you.
We have flyers out already in the branches, and I did put the little blurb flyer in the packet. It's in the director's report. It's one of the first one we had that we sent out before Michael did the real poster, so.
I'll support it to you in email.
I think Michael might have went to get you one.
Yeah, Michael went to get one of the big ones out at the table.
All right. We don't need oh, sorry. Can I have a motion to close the public comments? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, you're good.
Okay, we're gonna close the public comments. Sorry about that. No closed session? Any library members, trustees, comments, questions, announcements, anything you guys have? No? Okay. Announcements for the good of the order. Mr. Kleiman, do you have any announcements coming up? Y'all good? Okay. All right, so can I have a motion to adjourn?
We need to go into closed session.
Closed session.
Oh, we can't go into closed? We need to go into closed session.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the procedure we've been following in order for us to process what I need to talk to the board about.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but.
Good, you have the resolution? Okay, you have the resolution to read, right?
You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
I gotta put my glasses on. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, New Jersey SA 10:4-6 permits a public body to exclude the public from meetings or portions thereof wherein matters to be discussed are exempted from the requirements of the act. And whereas the act requires that prior to holding a meeting or portion thereof from which the public is excluded, the public body must adopt a resolution in public that provides for the holding of a private meeting. And whereas the Edison Library Board of Trustees has determined that a meeting should be held from which the public is to be excluded to discuss subjects exempted under the law, and now therefore be it resolved by the Edison Library Board of Trustees that it meet in executive closed session under the Open Public Meetings Act in order to discuss personnel matters and items covered by the attorney-client privilege. Be it further resolved that the minutes of the executive closed session shall be made available to the public after official action on the subject matter has been taken.
Okay, can I have a motion to go to closed session?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Everybody?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we can pause the recording.
appreciation for her service and wishes her success in her future endeavors.
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel,
She's muted.
Mute.
Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Second resolution is, let me get that in order. Resolution of promotion of employee 293109 to supervisor of buildings and grounds. Whereas the employee has served the Edison Public Library with dedication and reliability in the role of library custodian for 5 years. Now, here therefore be resolved that the Edison Public Library Board of Trustees hereby approves the promotion of employee 293109 from library custodian to the position of supervisor, buildings and grounds, effective April 16th, 2026.
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
And administration has one more. The promotion of employee number 293472 from children's librarian to senior librarian, children and family service. Whereas the employee served the Edison Public Library with dedication and professionalism in her role as children and family services librarian. Now therefore be it resolved that the Edison Public Library Board of Trustees hereby approves the promotion of employee 293472 to the position of senior librarian, children and family services, effective April 16th, 2026.
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel, Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. We will move on to adjournment. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to adjourn?
Can I have a second?
Second.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Any nays? Okay. Great, thank you, everybody.
you.
Appreciate your time.